We're going to try something new today, something I've never done before, something that I've been anticipating trying for well over a year now, I would say. But today I'm going to show you my first time ever. I want you to watch my video so that way you can see what you're going to expect as a first time thread chaser. We're chasing threads today, folks. So today you're going to see me attempt to chase a thread for the first time in my life. Here we go. Let's head to the lathe. The only wood I have in the shop that I hear is acceptable for thread chasing is coco bolo. So we're going to make a little box, a little screw thread box. This could go one of two ways. I could either get extremely lucky and nail it on my first attempt, or you could watch me destroy a chunk of coco bolo, which would, if I have to guess, be rather entertaining for you, rather devastating for me. So today I'm doing something that I love to do, and that's experiment. Try to get better, expand my repertoire. Here. Okay, so now the fun begins. Make sure we have a flat face. And then you want a slight bevel on the inside here. Okay, that's more than a slight bevel. Get the tailstock out of the way. Yikes, Adam. Okay, so what I know so far, you want to make sure that your inside here is parallel with the bed ways. So you put a little pencil in there. And it looks as though I made too big of a bevel on that last pass. And that looks pretty darn straight to me. Yep. Okay. And now we're going to use a special little tool. Now this was a little I really don't even know what it was. It came in the Windsor Designs. When I first decided I was going to turn, I went to Harbor Freight and I bought some wood turning tools because that's what you do. And it came with a bunch of these, and these are junk. So I just said to hell with it. I'm going to make one of these, and I blew the hell out of it too. But you know, it is what it is. I just ground it flat, and then I put this little angle on it and gave it a little nub out here to create a groove down on the inside of my work here. So when you're chasing these threads, and we're starting with the female end, so when you're chasing these threads and you're going in, if you bottom out, it's going to strip out all your threads. So you got to have a place down there where you have room to get out and stop the thread. So you got to create a little, get this side, little piece on the side over here and cut out a little groove in the back. Now the top of this tool is also sharp, so I can flatten out the bottom if need be. It's a little bit more aggressive than I was expecting, but I think we got the job done. And try to do a little bit more. So I'm thinking, by using this, I'm thinking that I didn't take enough material away here. I'm having a hard time leading that in straight because I have to have this edge lining up with that box. So it's hitting over here before my point's getting in there where I want it. So there's a little bit of good tidbit. Let's grind some more of that off. There we go. Now I believe we're getting desired effect. So you can see I just made it skinnier through here. So that sticks out a little bit further. Now I've got that nice little groove. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but way back in the back, there's a nice little groove there. So that'll give us a route of escape before we hit the backside. Got our nice little chamfer. Let's make sure that we're still level or still squared. Pretty good. Okay, now I think we're ready to start chasing finally. Okay, so they said to start, you don't want to cut originally with the leading tooth. You want to start 2 or 3 teeth back, 2 or 3 tooths back, 2 or 3 teeth back. And we're starting about a 45-degree angle. And we're just going to kind of give it a little wiggle. Kind of like this. And you want to turn this at 300 RPMs. They said anywhere from 150 to 500 was good, and most people like 300. It gives a good pace. So nice and slow. So we're going to start by presenting, I'm aiming for the fourth tooth here. And we're just going to kind of let's stop it and see if we got any kind of thread going. I barely see the makings of a thread there, so let's try again. And then once you start feeling it, and I can kind of, even though I don't really see it, well, yeah, there is a couple threads in there. Once you start feeling it and tell that you have a couple threads going, you slowly start rounding the corner until you get parallel. And then once you get it straight in, you can go with the first tooth now. And you're just letting the tool go in the threads. I have no idea how deep I'm going. Actually, that looks pretty darn good, actually. I mean, I'm no expert, but those look like threads to me. Okie dokie. So now, I'm going to switch it up. And make the actual box. When I stop talking, that's when I'm thinking. And I'm going, what do I do now? So let's load up the box body. Need to get my center, my live center in here to make sure I'm squared. Screwed up.
Okay, so the video I just watched said what you want to do is make a little tenon that'll fit inside your threads. Whoopsie. I did not mean to do that, but that's all right. That's all going to be threads anyway. I'm really sneaking up on it. I'd rather be stopping it too many times than cutting it too much once. Since I really don't know what I'm doing yet. Oh, we feel like we're getting close. Just a hair more. A little bit more. I'd rather take 25 times to get it right than blow past it. I still don't think we're quite there, but that's darn close. There we go. Okay, so now got the little bit of wigglies. So now what we want to do is turn what our threads are going to be down to a little bit bigger than this just by the height of our thread. So you can tell that's only, I don't know what that is. Is there a measurement for something that small? About 1 millimeter. So we want the next level of wood here to be 1 millimeter wider than this wood. Oh shit, Adam. And you want to be careful when you're doing this and not make a catch like a damned idiot. How deep of a thread, it doesn't really matter as long as you don't bottom out, which I'm not gonna. Okay, let's call that good because I don't know any better. Um, Same principle here. We want to use a point tool or a diamond tool or something that's going to allow us to make a bit of a relief at the shoulder. Square up our face. Yep, let's give it a go and see what happens, shall we? Mucking it up. I think my problem is that front edge never quite got. I think I've got a double set of threads in there. Okay, we're a little big yet, which is good. I'd rather be too big than too small. I think I'm just pushing too hard into it, so I'm trying to back off a little bit here. Made them too loose now, but they work. They are too loose though. Okay, so now I'm going to, because these first 2 or 3 threads aren't doing anything, because that's where I made, I'm not sure how I mucked that up, but I did. Okay, so I'm going to cut off those first 2 or 3 threads out to here. And he said right at the very edge you'll have a thread that gets really thin, so you just want to sort of round that over as well, just slightly. So we use our diamond tool for that. Okay, so it's definitely not perfect, but we've got a box that screws on.
All right. Well, that was more fun than I was expecting, and it turned out a lot better than I was expecting as well, to be quite frank. Um, we made a nice little box here. I really like it. The threads, they work as expected. Um, I'm I'm honestly surprised by that, but they work as expected. You can see the threads are certainly not perfect, but I'm happy with how they turned out. Coco Bolo does take threads very well. The inside, the female threads look really good. Yeah, that looks good. I did hollow out the bottom there, so this is now a box. You can put stuff in it. That's a little too big, but you get the point. Um, I mean, I was not expecting to have a final product that actually functions. Um, and it was, to be honest, it was, I'm not going to say it was easy. I'm not going to say it was easy, but it was easier than I was expecting. With a little bit of research and a little bit of thought that went into it beforehand, it was actually quite doable for a first timer. Now, like I said, they're not perfect. I certainly have room to improve, but I like it. So, what did I learn from the experience today? The experiment taught me a couple things. Number one, which I knew coming into it, but now I know even more. Take your time. It's not a race. Even the best thread chasers still take their time when chasing threads. I think I got a little anxious at one point making mail-in threads, and that's why they came out a little choppy. Like I said, at one point there, I was making double threads, so it wasn't pretty. Um, and I'm going to have to play with the dimensions a little bit. That the tenon to where it goes in, and then a little bit bigger for the threads. I'm going to have to play around with that a little bit. Um, that didn't go exactly smooth, but I think it went smooth enough. And I do think I still have a hint of another thread in there somewhere, because every now and then it will cross thread when I'm going to put it on. So once again, not perfect. I mean, but it works and it looks good, and it was fun. I did enjoy it. I also learned that, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought the lower TPI would be better for a beginner, but it's actually quite the opposite. The reason being is, when you start off with the lower TPI, you have less teeth in here to grab when you're going in at the 45-degree angle. So you're having to establish that first thread kind of by yourself, instead of having enough teeth to get in there and have it pulling itself through. So if that's something, if you're going to be attempting this for the first time, I would suggest that you go with a higher TPI, something like a 16 or an 18 TPI, and stay away from the lower. I think next what I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment a little bit more, and I'm going to make threads on the wood that I have. I'm just going to attempt to make threads on walnut, maybe some maple. I've got those stair treads that are well seasoned, and every time I turn those, I don't get a lot of tear out. So I'm going to attempt that. Maybe that'll work. Um, and if none of that works well, then I will attempt either CA glue or epoxy. That's what we learned today, and I'm glad you were watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I definitely had a few mistakes, so learn from my failures because I did. It's a good thing to fail. Always a good thing to fail. Don't feel bad. This was fun. I'm looking forward to doing more thread chasing in the future. Hopefully you are too. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, or concerns. Let me know down in the comment section. So thanks for hanging out in my shop and in my house here today. Certainly appreciate you coming along. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.